Oh, my name's Fox, and I'm with Fox, and I just finished watching Godzilla 2, Godzilla, the City on the Edge of Battle. The animated series on Netflix, where it's basically like they're bringing it up into multiple parts. The first one came out last year, this will count this year, and I think the next one comes out in December. I want to say it comes out in December. But basically, this is an animated series that takes place, that's starring KIRBOPHER from YouTube, and Tome, and he's making a video game, Tome, which I want to play. Sad I didn't have any money to help with this Kickstarter, but beside the point. Basically, you have, if you don't know the first one, basically, I think 20,000 years in the future, after Earth leaves, after humanity, as well as a couple other alien races that came to Earth to try to save humanity from their giant kaiju problem, Godzilla, as well, I think it's a couple other kaijus. They left Earth, went in cryostasis for like 20,000 years, and now they've come back, and now the world is completely changed. Where in the first movie, you really just saw, what was it? You really just saw, the really alien race you saw is the humanity. You have the Pseudo-Wudo, and they're called something else, but they're called Pseudo-Wudo, the big bulky guys. You have the Dorians, I'm going to call them the Dorians, the white-haired religious types, and then you also had the planet Earth, which has basically adapted to the genetic code of Godzilla, to where giant flying creatures are miniature Godzillas, basically. Everything has gotten Godzilla's DNA over it, basically. And it was a cool one. I liked the first one, especially like the ending. I guess spoiler. That it turns out the actual Godzilla, because the Godzilla they're fighting in that movie that they kill isn't actually Godzilla, but a baby Godzilla. And the actual Godzilla is a mountain tall, and is basically destruction. Is just destruction to the point where he could shoot a spaceship out of the sky from Earth with his atomic breath, which he done in like other animated, which he done in like his actual movies. But yeah, that was the thing that happened. And this one I really do love, because this one expands more on this version of the world, and I freaking love it. And I wish there was like a Breath of the Wild-esque / Bigfoot / Hunt the Rake kind of game that is based in this world, because by God, it is so good. Because spoilers also, but also there's basically there's multiple basically what I really love about this movie is that each race has their own like kaiju for them, which is freaking amazing. There's apparently these quote unquote evolved natives who are on planet Earth, who were humans, but somehow have evolved, which spoiler alerts, because there's the two of these natives are twins who touch a giant glowing egg and can only talk to everybody and talk in unison. Anyone who knows kaiju movies knows this is Mothra. And so there's one race, it is one race of quote unquote evolved humans who are like kind of like quote unquote Native American style, like they live off the earth and stuff like that. Their kaiju, quote unquote god, or their kaiju is Mothra, who's in the cocoon and stuff like that, and they help humanity, like the humans that came, they help them heal the wounded with like this dust. This dust to heal them and stuff like that, and it's great. And then you have the Pseudo-Wudo, whose kaiju god is Mecha Godzilla, which they created in 80,000 years ago to fight Godzilla. But it turns out the metal is still it's like a nanite metal that slowly keeps growing and building itself to the point where it's built its own city inside a crevice where Godzilla blew a hole in it, and the head of Mecha Godzilla is still there, or half of it is still there, and it's slowly being built up. And these guys, and their god is this, and a lot of the movie is based in this city where they're basically setting up plans to fight the Godzilla from 20,000 years ago, who's basically a massive god, which, after learning some things about, like, crocodiles, where crocodiles can't die of old age, they can't die of old age, the only thing that, and they'll always keep growing. If I remember correctly, crocodiles never die of old age, they can only keep growing, and the only way that they die is if they can't, well, other than being, shot or killed like that, the only way that they die is not of old age, but of lack of nutrition. Other than that, they will keep growing and growing. They can get enough food in them, and they'll basically can live forever. And Godzilla, since he basically doesn't run on actual food, but actually runs on nuclear energy and radiation, he's pretty much a god. But yeah, so like the Pseudo-Udo have Mechagodzilla. Then you have humanity has Godzilla, and they hint at it, and then at the very last stinger, they say who the freaking Ghidorah's kaiju is. So spoilers, go see this show. I love it. It's great. Or this movie or whatnot. It's really great, but I'll bring it up in a bit. But basically, you have these three races, and like the Pseudo-Udo are all like logic and technology and stuff, even though they're the big bulky dudes. But their thing is, logic and all that stuff and technology. And basically they use the nanometal, that's what it was called, the nanometal. Godzilla nanometal, which created this city, which they call Mechagodzilla City, which is kind of cool. I'm hoping we'll see Mechagodzilla at some point. Even though it looks kind of like the end of this, that it's probably not going to happen, but Mechagodzilla, we see that Mechagodzilla, they go to this city, Mechagodzilla City, and they basically start fortifying it. Since it's nanometal, they can just program it. They can program guns, all that stuff, and the whole idea is to capture Godzilla. And why they found out about this place because the Mothra people, because they don't look like bugs, they look like humans, but they have like little scale like dust on them, which they use. They create arrows using this nanometal, and it's super effective against Godzilla. So they use these weapons to. So they basically, humanity as well as the Pseudo-Udo and the Dorians go to this city, and basically they start building up defense. They build up weapons. They build new mecha suits that are not humongous, but they are kind of cool, and they have like these like angel energy wings, which always look awesome, which is cool because when they're flying in the air and like they stop, those wings come out and they're like freaking awesome, glowing in like the dark sky. And then when they start flying past, like it turns like jet wings. And it's freaking cool. I want a toy of that. And basically their whole idea is to get Godzilla into the city, trap him, fill up his legs with nanometal, and use said nanometal. And then while he's trapped, shoot him in the spine where his I know in one movie they had something similar to this, but basically it's where like he generates his atomic blast and basically shoot him with an EMP thing and make Godzilla make himself explode. And that's kind of the idea. Doesn't of course go that way because the title character is named Godzilla and Godzilla is epic. But while this is all going on, they're preparing. You find out things that like these people who are all based on logic are trying, basically, what was it? The Doras, the religious people. Well, the main guy goes to Haruo. I want to say his name is Haruo, even though he says, my name is Haruo to the natives, and the natives go, Haruoi. And they're like, and he's like, that's right. I'm like, no, that's wrong. And then everyone else goes, Haruoi. I'm like, okay, never mind. KIRBOPHER is wrong. He's saying it wrong. And then other people say, and some other people say Haruo as well. I'm like, okay, just no one knew how to say this no one knew how to say this name. Okay, I get it. But that was just freaking funny. But yeah, so basically they're gonna go fight. That's their plan. And I love how people keep forgetting that Godzilla has atomic breath. Because they're like, Godzilla can't find the city because it's hidden by this dust of metal. But when the dust clears, because of their building like weapons and stuff, Godzilla's like, Yeah, there it is. And they're like, it's going to take Godzilla an hour to get here. Don't worry, our guns will be done by the time he gets there. Godzilla stops half an hour away, and they're like, wait, why isn't he coming to attack us? And I'm like, you're all freaking idiots. Do you not remember his atomic breath? Which then Godzilla promptly reminds them by firing an atomic breath at them. And I'm like, yeah, you're freaking morons. But they form a shield of mist that reflects the atomic blast. Oh, I was like, alright, that's kind of cool. But, that was cool. When they're flying around their mechs, it's kind of awesome because they form 3 mechs. Which they said that they were using, this one mech that they had and basically upgraded it, but apparently they can only make 3 off of it. I thought they were like copying the design and then using Mechagodzilla's nanometal to then create these new things, but apparently not. Apparently it's not like copying the design. No, they literally, I guess, take parts of of that robot and create 3 different ships for whatever reason. And then there's a thing where like the pseudo-wudos basically are basically merging with the nanometal to become computers, basically using their brains as computers and stuff like that. And humanity is terrified and horrified by this. And I'm like, if that's what they want to do, why the fudge not? Like, it's not like, because they're still fighting. Like these guys have not shown any reason. And the thing is, like, religious guy, Mephistopheles, Mephiles, I think his name, Memphis. The name is Memphis. He tells KIRBOPHER, hey, these guys want to become these monsters, and usually the civilizations are what create these monsters for whatever reason. I guess humanity was a nuclear holocaust, nuclear bombs and stuff. But of course, this guy talks about like saying like our people had a monster even greater and more powerful than Godzilla. But we can't say his name aloud, for it brings a bad omen. But I shall tell you this name, so that way when you fight Godzilla, you know that there is someone even more powerful. And whisper something in his ear. And anyone who's followed, at least who has a general knowledge of Godzilla, which again, I haven't seen all the movies. I've seen a couple of them, but I know who he was talking about immediately. And I'm like, fudge, yes, because they bring it up at the end of the trail, at the end of everything. But basically, Godzilla. But basically, yeah, their plan is going kind of well. And like the thing is, like they've seen earlier that apparently nanometal consumes, like they did the pseudo-wudo as well as humanity, some of humanity beforehand, where it absorbs over them, it consumes them, brings them into the nanometal, makes them, basically computers. But the pseudo-wudo basically saying, we want to do this. We want to join with this stuff. This is our logical explanation. We're trying to evolve, which I always love the idea of evolution. Mind you, I don't think it's probably more of a metamorphosis to consider than evolution, but I always love the idea of an evolution, especially in something like this, where each evolution is based off of one of these kaiju, where the people of Mothra, they are evolved from Mothra, gaining her dust skin, her skin and dust and stuff. That way, then they are protected from certain things as well as like the environment. While then you have the pseudo-wudo, who's again their evolution is becoming one with Mechagodzilla and becoming this robotic monster basically. I want to see, and I think for the Dorians, their one, because they have these crystals that can see the future stuff like that. I feel like that's connected to their kaiju in some way, because they keep talking about a god, and I'm thinking like I bet that kaiju's their god, especially since at one point Memphis in the last movie straight up says the god has awakened, and the god of this world has awakened or something like that, and he's talking about Godzilla as Godzilla stands over everyone just again, best impression I can do. But yeah, like I love that. That's freaking great. Cool. And basically there's a whole thing, there's a fight scene, but like the pseudo-wudo say, don't worry. All of our people wanted to do this. We're not going to force anyone to do it. They're forced to become part of this. Part of Mechagodzilla, stuff like that. though later on when they shoot the vultures, the little mechs, to fight Godzilla and stuff like that, and they basically trap Godzilla, but the plan doesn't work, where Godzilla doesn't make himself explode, but instead he starts generating heat to give off, he starts releasing the heat so that way he doesn't explode, which creates a heat barrier around him, which then starts to create even more heat and melt the liquid metal, and everyone's like, oh crap, we did not see this coming. And basically the Sudowoodo's idea is, we can still win this, because it looks like they're not going to win. We can still win this, but we have to merge with Godzilla. And then was like, Humanity's like, you know! And like, there's like cowards, and the Sudowoodo join it, and basically the three vultures, the people who are inside the ships, the mechs, which is KIRBOPHER, Girl, and other Sudowoodo. Basically they say like, all right, we have to. There's only one way we can beat Godzilla, and that's the thing that we ourselves have to become another, because they shot harpoon guns into their back, EMP harpoons, and that's what really started this whole thing. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna fly the vultures into Godzilla and basically do the same thing. But the thing is, it's a suicide mission, and they can't get anywhere near it because there's a certain component inside the ships that's going to explode and die if it tries it. And KIRBOPHER's like, wait, what part of the ship is perceptible to heat? Says the man sweating bullets. And I'm just like, you're a little slow on the uptake, aren't you, Kirby? And of course, then the liquid metal starts absorbing into them, absorbs Mr. Sudowoodo, starts absorbing the girl. But it says earlier that like the people treated by the Mothra people, the humans that were treated by the Mothra people, that for some reason they've been feeling sick while inside Mechagodzilla City, and KIRBOPHER was treated by those people. So when the liquid metal goes over him and breaks apart, the Sudowoodo's like, what did you do to your body? It's the liquid metal's not taking you. And I'm like, okay, well, there goes that. I guess that one. And basically, KIRBOPHER has to fly to the main hub, shoot that, destroy it, so that way they can try to stop the encroaching over his girlfriend. Which there was kind of like a love angle, because it's not really a triangle, but a love angle, because Girl liked KIRBOPHER. I'm not sure if KIRBOPHER liked Girl, and then the girl, and then one of the twins of Mothra, the good one, I think they're technically both still good, but the one that doesn't glare, she apparently also likes KIRBOPHER, because when they see Girl and KIRBOPHER kissing, nice Mothra Girl's like, "Aw, I wanted it." But yeah, so there's that. But so there's, I guess KIRBOPHER did love Girl, because Girl, I don't remember her name, and really that's all as much as you can really say about her character, a little bit in some cases. She's kind of like a standard female character, and I mean that is lines of, I like him, and really my main definition is just that I can fly a ship. That's really much it. I'm not really calling from Code Geass or anything. I just, Also, I didn't know about Earth. That's why I liked you, KIRBOPHER, because you remembered Earth. But yeah. So basically, she gets absorbed by the metal halfway, and she dies. Godzilla breaks free, roars, and KIRBOPHER grabs him and grabs her, holds her as like tear rolls down her face, and he screams and yells. And while that's going on, you see like a flashback. Also, this coin that Memphis, the Dorian, he has this coin that apparently is part of a ritual or something. Which I bet the symbol was seen as something else, but I don't know what it was. But yeah, the symbol, it's also a symbol that he has on his chest. But you see like basically KIRBOPHER yells, and you see him going to you see like what I guess is his mind is flashback throughout this episode or movie, I guess, all the way to the back to the part where KIRBOPHER and Memphis are talking, and Memphis walks up to him and says, "Remember, a creature that is even stronger than Godzilla. But we shall not name his name, but you should know his name." Gets up close and just goes, "Ghidorah." And I'm just like, fuck yeah! Oh god, it's freaking great. I freaking love that. And again, I've only seen one movie where Ghidorah was in it, which it's the one where it's like a twist, or like it's like oh, it's him. It's the one. It's like one of the newer Godzilla movies, so you probably from that alone you should probably know what I'm talking about. Like the early 2000s, like before they stopped making them until Shin Godzilla, which I want to see that one. But yeah, like that was that's what it sounded like. Oh yes! So we already set up Mothra, we already set up King Ghidorah, and I think Rodan was in the other one, in the last one, but in the past, so I don't know if he's gonna pop against. But we have Mothra, King Ghidorah, Godzilla. So we have the Dorians, the religious people. Their kaiju is King Ghidorah. The new humans, the Mothra people, there of course is Mothra. The Pseudo-Wudo, which I'm not sure how many are left. Maybe there's some still on the ship. But there's this Mecha Godzilla, which is kind of cool because that one's a created kaiju. And they basically say that that it was a cool scene where like the Memphis as well as the Pseudo-Wudo are trying to tell KIRBOPHER what to do. And like the Pseudo-Wudo say, once you said that you wanted to fight a Godzilla, you said that you wanted to give up your humanity to become something stronger, something greater to save it. And stuff like that. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I just kind of like that little bit that they were talking about. It's like, you chose that. You know why they call them monsters? Because humanity can't fight them. And stuff like that. I'm like, that's kind of cool, I think. I don't know. I thought it was kind of awesome seeing something like that. But, and like they say, that's why they try to go with all logic. But yeah, I love this. I love this stuff. And again, I want to see a video game based on this. Kind of like something similar to the Rake, the Hunting the Rake or Bigfoot, where like Godzilla is constantly out there in like an open world setting, but have the open world like Breath of the Wild, where like you go up mountains and stuff like that, explore like the entire thing, and have like the Mothra people who are hidden underground. You can have Mechagodzilla City somewhere in like the mountains and stuff like that. You can have kind of like Breath of the Wild, but you constantly see Godzilla out in like the distance, like slowly walking through like the forest and stuff like that. And like you can run up to him and see how gigantic he is, and your whole point is just to kill Godzilla or in some way to harm him to lower his life or something. And I think that'd be kind of cool. And maybe there's even some other things, like maybe you can form Mechagodzillas. I don't freaking know. I'll talk about this in another video. But that would be kind of cool. And I love this movie. I really want to see more. I want to see. I think it's 3 or 4. I think it's a 3 or 4 part series. I want to say it's probably going to be a 4-part because they somehow had to bring King Ghidorah in as well as then Mothra. Well, Mothra was a lot easier. They think could break open, and then we'll probably see Mothra in the next episode. And then King Ghidorah will probably come in the next episode or maybe the one after that. I don't know. But then again, the guy who said he needed that coin for a ritual, so maybe they're going to use that coin to summon King Ghidorah. I don't know. It's going to be awesome, I freaking bet. But yeah, it's freaking cool. I would say I would like to see a little more Godzilla. Stuff like that. His design is a little... I wish they could have kind of been able to show his teeth a little bit different. I don't know. It looks kind of... I still like how he looks, but yeah, I don't know. But it looks awesome. This movie series is freaking cool, and I highly recommend it. KIRBOPHER did a good job, even though like some of the time I can't really tell it's him sometimes. Like, it's not being like, oh yeah, that's KIRBOPHER. Even though I think that is his standard voice. I don't know. I sometimes do hear it more along the lines, but... Either way, just tell me what you guys in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you want to videos that I've done, links are on my page, description around there somewhere. I like this movie. It was awesome. Once I get paid, I'm gonna buy like a Godzilla toy as well as Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. I want to get those. Maybe Mothra too if I can find one. Either way, thanks for watching the videos I've done. Again, links are on my page, description around there somewhere, and we will. How cringy is that? I just want to know.